Hey guys, today we're going to talk about something really interesting. How I actually brought on a partner to invest in real estate this year and how you can as well. So let's first talk about partnerships. Usually you have to make sure that you choose somebody that you really have a strong bond of trust. Not only do they have to have some capital to put into the funds, but you also have to have a pretty strong bond of trust with them. When you partner up with one other person, this is actually called a joint venture. That means basically you kind of go 50-50. You do 50% of the work, they do 50% of the work, or something along those lines. What's really important to have when you do a joint venture is a written contract of some sort. Even if this is like your best friend and you really trust them, you can't just go off of their word that, hey, this, they're going to pay you back and split the profits 50-50. What if something happens to them? What if something happens to you? Those are some of the questions you have to ask. So these questions in particular are the ones that my attorney asked me and my partner before we drafted our written agreement. So the first one is, what's your exit strategy? So do you want to own this property for the rest of your lives? Or do you want to sell it at some point? Or do you want to refinance it at some point if there's a lot of equity that builds up in the property? Next thing you have to ask is, what if somebody passes away? What if you pass away? What if your partner passes away, right? What happens to the property then? Does it go to their next of kin? What if it goes to somebody that you don't trust? Maybe they have kids or something like that, but the kids are too young and you can't trust them to help you manage the property. So those are the questions you kind of have to figure out. It's called estate planning when you're trying to figure out what happens when somebody dies. Now, the last thing you have to figure out is, what if somebody is unhappy with what's going on? Like maybe you feel like you're taking on too much of the management work when you guys agreed that it would be split 50-50. Or maybe they feel like they're putting in more of their own money and you're not putting in any money, or you're making excuses to have to put money in for repairs or something like that. You have to have a plan in place for, like, okay, if somebody's unhappy, are you going to go to a mediator to solve it, or what happens there? Once you basically have this written contract though, you can go ahead and do a JV and buy a deal obviously with pretty high cash flow so that you're both happy with the cash flow, and then that allows you to scale your portfolio faster because you use less of your own money to get in, because maybe they're putting up half the capital or maybe they're putting up all of the capital. Which brings me to the two main methods for actually doing a JV. So the first one is, method one is basically they put up all the capital and you do all of the management. Now this is like one end of the spectrum, so there's definitely ways to split it a little bit differently, like 25-75%, but in this case, let's say they put up all the capital and you agree to do all the management work. Well, now you don't have to come out of pocket for any of your funds or any of your cash, but once the thing is rolling, you basically have to do the management piece or hire a property manager and train them how to manage your property. The method number two is if you guys go 50-50. So this is 50-50 everything. 50-50 capital that goes in, 50-50 management, 50-50 profits. And this tends to work a lot of times because you guys, it feels fair, 50-50, right? But again, you still have to have those plans in place in case something were to go wrong. So I actually used this method. I invested with one of my partners to buy a property out of state. We're able to make, more than likely, we're going to be making about $2,700. I'm being very conservative here, just $2,700 in cash flow, net cash flow per month. So that's about $1,350 per person, right? And so this is, and actually out of pocket, my estimated out of pocket's around $30,000 to $40,000, which isn't too much, to make $1,400 per month. It's totally worth it for me, and that's why I'm doing it this year. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are thinking of partnering up or using other people's money to potentially buy real estate deals because you don't have as much capital of your own. And let me know if you have any questions about this. Very exciting topic. Basically, the sky's the limit, because if you are using other people's money or using less of your own, basically you can scale indefinitely. If you love this video, share it, like and subscribe, of course, for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you guys again next week. Thank you.